it's just astounding how much that is. I'll make a quick analogy here. I heard years ago, about 20 years ago, you know, if you took $1,000, and I've never seen a $1,000 bill, but if you had a $1,000 bill and you stacked them up, you had a bunch of them, you stacked them up on top of each other for 1.5 feet high, you'll have $1 million. Okay, 18 inches high, you'd have $1 million. Well, for $1 billion, if you took those $1,000 bills and stacked them all the way up 1,500 feet up in the air, you'll have $1 billion. Okay, so now think of 1,000 stacks all the way up to the Empire State Building or beyond of those $1,000 bills. 1,000 stacks. Now that's $1 trillion. So you see, what's scary is that, you know, we've got people in D.C., they just want to keep that printing press going. As long as it's working, you know, that's good enough. Well, that's scary. I'm concerned for our kids and grandkids. You know, I'll be 55 here this fall, Lord willing, and you know, I'll deal with whatever's out there. But I'm concerned with our kids and our grandkids, and in some cases great-grandkids. But because what the future holds. I mean, it's again, I'm trying not to be a doomsday guy, but that's scary. And like my buddy said, Bob, it may be too late. But I don't know what's going to happen. But as a state, I realize, and I know Jim and Matt Ubelor and others, some conservatives down there, that we understand the value of a dollar. And we're not going to just, you know, take your money and just send it on down the river. But I know people like Dale and people like John Nickerson over there in Clay County, and, you know, I'm in trouble now to start naming names, but, you know, Kenny Sebastian and everybody else, a lot of people, I mean, they work hard for that dollar. And so when they pay taxes, they just like me, they want it to be, you know, go to good use. And I don't mind paying taxes, but because I understand, you know, I like smooth roads, and I like, you know, to educate our kids in K through 12 and so forth, and, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But I just want it to go for a good cause. I received this email this morning, and I've received emails like this before a couple other times, but I'd like to just read this to you to give you an idea. It says here, it talks about Republicans and Democrats. Well, I'd like for it to be, you know, conservatives and liberals, okay? Because let's face it, I've got a couple Democrat buddies of mine. They're about as conservative as you can get. I'll take conservative Democrats any day of the week. But it says, which side of the fence are you on? It says, if you ever wondered which side of the fence you sit on, this is a great test. And again, it says Republican and Democrat, but I'll insert conservative and liberal. It says, if a conservative doesn't like guns, he doesn't buy one. If a liberal doesn't like guns, he wants all guns outlawed. If a conservative is a vegetarian, he doesn't eat meat. If a liberal is a vegetarian, he wants all meat products banned for everyone. How true. If a conservative is homosexual, he quietly leads his life. If a Democrat, or excuse me, if a liberal is a homosexual, he demands legislative respect. If a conservative is down and out, he thinks about how to better his situation. A liberal wonders who is going to take care of him. If a conservative doesn't like a talk show host, he just switches the channels. And liberals demand that those they don't like be shut down. If a conservative is a non-believer, he doesn't go to church. If a liberal non-believer wants any mention of God and religion, silenced. And if a conservative decides he needs health care, he goes about shopping for it or may choose a job that provides it. And a liberal demands that the rest of us pay for his. And that's, you know, and that's the problem. You know, like it says, don't tread on me. You know, we've got people who wants to shove it down your throat. And Jim and I, we see them up there. You know, they may be demonstrating, and thanks for him, he's fought for the freedom of those people that they can demonstrate. And they, you know, in all due respect, God bless them for that freedom that they have, that they can demonstrate. You know, they can cuss, and they don't, but they can voice their opinion, or, you know, I don't think they spit or anything like that, but we just dealt with it every day, and that was just part of it. But that's the whole process of dealing with people, whether it's the State House, or whether they're back home at the coffee shops, or the Cracker Barrel sessions that we have, you know. And I'm glad we have that freedom to voice our opinions. And I think the best thing about this whole political thing is being out here with the people. You know, being at the open house a while ago, talking to those two teachers. Chrissy was there this morning at the Holiday Inn in Terre Haute. You know, we had a Republican gathering there. Being here. Tomorrow night I got another open house to go to. 2 retired teachers, conservative retired teachers. But it's kind of a, but you know, one of these days I got to sell insurance to make a house payment. But anyway, it's kind of, it is fun, but it's about serving the people. And I hate the word, what people say, you know, you're a politician. Well, you know, Todd Rokita said one time, well, public servant sounds better, and I agree with him. You know, I think a politician is, you know, just another, you know, I won't say, but it's just kind of, I don't care for politicians, but it's about serving the people and understanding that we're out here representing you. And like we talked about, you know, elections do have consequences. And one thing I overlooked, you know, we dealt with House Enrolled Act. It was 10-0, I want to say, originally started out to be with, it's House Enrolled Act 1210, which dealt with abortion matters. In Indiana now, thanks to this, we're one of the toughest, you know, we're one of the best pro-life states in the nation. You know, for that. But you know, and there's people that like that, and there's some people that send us hate mail. You know, I mean, you know, there was people. You know, some of us received. You know, I hope you burn in hell for those kind of votes, and they can say that all they want. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, I mean, that, again, God bless them. We can't. They're entitled to their opinions, but we also dealt with the marriage amendment. Okay, and that's something too. You know, I think Nina was there at this, and Christy over here at the bank here a few months ago, and a couple guys. You know, I think they lived together, and I don't know. I don't see their picture or video, but I mean, probably homosexuals. But they wanted me, maybe even next year, not to vote for the marriage amendment. Well, you know, again, going back to my grown-up days, you know, man and a woman, you know, marriage, you know, pretty simple to me. But that went through. We're going to vote on it again, not in this coming year, but in January of 2013, and if it goes through, then on November of, what, 2015 or 20s, a few, you know, so the next time, in about 3.5 years from now, it's going to be on the ballot. And then you people vote on it to put it in the Constitution. And that's what I told those reporters in February, or whenever we went through with that in March, is that you people decide whether you want the marriage amendment. Okay, allow you to decide. And that's what we're doing. And I tell you what, the liberals don't want that. Because what's going to happen, every Republican/conservative is going to vote. And that's what the state of Ohio did in 2004. And guess what? They came out and voted. And George W. Bush won in 2004 instead of John Kerry. Yes. Because that's what happened, okay? And the Democrats know that. So they don't want that to happen because they want you to stay at home and not vote, you know. So anyway, I don't want to ramble, but I just kind of touched on some things. But some people say, we did some heavy lifting. We did a lot of work, but it's good Americans like Jim Baird, Matt Eubelor, and others up there that we just did what our gut told us to do, besides the people back home. And but it was the right thing to do. And so there was 19 new freshmen that was up there, and we just took it one day at a time and read and listened and listened to our constituents. But when it's all said and done, we got to put our head on that pillow at night, and we got to feel good about how we voted here. And I felt good how we voted. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and see you next month at the fair. Thank you for coming.